Hello, troopers! Welcome back to the 501st Com Chatter. I'm Will.
And I'm Chloe.
And today we have a bit of an emotional episode, don't we? You know what's coming. It is the Bad Batch Season 3 finale and the finale of the entire show. No more Bad Batch breakdowns after this, which is really sad.
It is sad.
So we're going to be going over that with you guys in depth. So I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot to discuss, good and bad for the show, I think, in my opinion. Shall we crack on with the news?
Yeah.
So shall we start with? Should we start with like the sort of things that people can buy?
Yeah.
News. Before we go into like released Lego sets and all that, if you guys aren't aware, we are in the little period where lots of companies do
May the 4th events.
Yeah, and like Star Wars deals, which is quite good. We've capitalised on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So Funko are doing a 3 for 2 on Star Wars Funkos.
Yeah.
So we got 3. They're on the way. We got the Balin skull, which I did want as soon as it was announced. And we have the 2 Night Troopers as well coming.
So there's 2 different ones. There's like the one with
It's like a white helmet with like a gold bit under his eye.
Yeah.
And then there's like another one that's like got a bit of a, like the bottom bit of the helmet is like you said, dark grey.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be quite cool, and I think him or those 2 will go really nicely with like Enoch and Mythron. So that'd be a nice, thing for that. Obviously, there's Lego at the minute.
There is
big deals at the minute.
I think it's gonna be 5 times VIP points.
Really?
Or insider points.
Because at the minute, I believe it's 2 times points at the minute.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's going to be like 5 times or something like on May the 4th. But
I feel like last year was 4 times because it was like May 4th, 4 times the points. I don't know.
I mean, there is one set that I want to sort of get in this deal. Like, I'm not too worried about the gift with purchases because they're not great. They're not like amazing. But I want to get the Keller and Beck and Grogu Speeder Chase because one, I think the Keller and Beck is a really unique and interesting figure, and I think because it's probably going to be the only Keller and Beck figure, he might go up in value over the years because it's the only one. The Grogu's pretty cute as well. Like you've got on top.
I do. Grogu.
And you get a couple, and you get like 2 501st troopers. So can't really fault.
And those troopers are slightly different to the bag one. The magazine ones. So they have the holes for the rangefinders.
Yes. So for example, they look pretty much the same. So this one is from a couple of years ago from the magazine, which is, as you can tell, it doesn't have any
ear holes,
which a lot of people are quite happy about. Now I bought those a couple, like 2 years ago, I think, or something. But yeah, so comes with those, which would be quite cool.
Yeah.
Any other deals that you can think of? If you go to any store,
there's like is it Smith's Toys? They're doing you can like build a little Star Wars miniature.
I think it's like an X-wing or something.
Yeah, I think there's like a few different ones you can build.
You just go in the store and you build it, and like you get it.
You can get a free one of those.
I think Lego are doing it as well because I saw them advertising like a little layer and thing, but it's like it's not a minifig.
No, it's just like a miniature
It's like a fig made out of little bits. But yeah, if that's what you're into, go ahead.
Do you know what I would love to build though?
What?
I don't think this is one of the options, but imagine if you could build a little like Lego mini kit from the games.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be so fun.
I'm sure there's people that have made it.
I want one.
We should get some bits. So yes, we're going to go into today's episode with some of our like news and stuff that we've got to show you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start us off with I don't know who this person is, but I want to give them a little shout out. So I saw this come up on my sort of Facebook the other day, and someone has turned their car into a Star Wars car. So they've obviously got wrap put on it.
Yeah.
So as you can see on this side, you've got like the Rogue One poster thing. Like I'm pretty sure I have this on that plastic cup that the one that I got from the cinema when it came out.
Yeah.
We've got This Is the Way. We've got like a TIE fighter, Vader's Titan Scepter, X-wings, Y-wings. On the other side, you've got like the Battlefront poster. You've got another X-wing, cool. Death Star. Again, it's so cool. And then on the front, you've got like Yoda, and then May the Force be with you. So, whoever this person is, you are a major Star Wars fan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, fair play to you guys. I love it. We have finally some
June 1st Lego sets.
I can't remember what month it was. Yes, and we have the first look at Rex's microfighter. Yeah,
his little Y-wing that we've had announced for ages, but they've not released pictures until like I think it was yesterday.
Literally yesterday when you sent me these. So.
Yeah. So we've got a little Y-wing with the Rex figure.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the Y-wing, I'm not a big microfighter sort of fan. It is a little bit cute, but I will just be buying this one for the Rex.
I think a lot of people will. But I think a lot of people are annoyed as well, because if they've bought the Venator purely for the Rex, now there's this.
True.
One.
I did see someone do a video though the other day and say that this one is slightly different to the
Venator one.
Yeah, the one that comes in the UCS set. Now, I don't know exactly what the difference is, but like I said, I saw a video and someone was like, there's a little bit of a difference. I think it might be different arm printing or something.
Oh, okay.
But...
Well, that makes it better.
Yeah, but obviously, we're buying it for the Rex because I want to keep the Rex UCS one with the UCS set. But now I can have a normal Rex that can go with Cody, Fox and Vaughn. So that'd be cool. But yeah, no, again, little simple set. I don't think this one's very much. I think it's going to be about like 12 quid or something. Yeah. But yeah, you get a little Rex. So we have the I think it's called Battle of Mandalore or something.
Yeah.
And I think this is quite cool. We get our first look at the Imperial Mandalorians.
Yeah.
I quite like them. I think the helmets look really accurate. I think they look quite cool with the sort of silver arms and that. I mean, the set itself is a bit weird. Like you mentioned when we were talking about it, you were like, I don't really like the random rocks and that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it because it's all in like the caves of Mandalore, basically. But I don't know, it's just a bit random.
Yeah, I will say as well, I think it's quite interesting they've added a sort of a bit that you can attach the the Imperial Mando to, so it looks like he's flying. Also, they have a different little jetpack.
Yeah.
Compared to the normal sort of Mandalorian ones. So that's quite cool that we're getting a new thing that. A set, probably not going to get. But I did say to you, I probably will buy one of these minifigs by themselves.
Mandalorian Imperials.
Not so much the Mandalorians, because we've got a couple of the Mandalorians. But the Mandalorian Imperials. Sorry, I might get one or two of those just because it's like...
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of a collection of Imperials up there, and I think that's quite a cool one to have with it.
Like the patrol trooper, the stormtroopers, No trooper, scout trooper.
AT-AT pilot. I think I need a TIE pilot. That's probably one of the last ones.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a TIE pilot actually.
Oh, so well, there we go. We're all good. We're all good.
We're all good.
We have Paz Vizsla's. It's Paz, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say pre-Vizsla, but I was like, no, that's not right. We got Paz Vizsla's Last Stand here with the Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paz and the two Pantoran
I don't believe
guards.
we've had a Moff Gideon minifig yet.
No, it does look, but he looks quite. I think we might have had him with the Darksaber. I think, like from season 1. You know, when he just had the sort of Imperial look.
Not with the.
Oh no! This is the first time that we've had him.
Yeah.
The Pantoran guards look quite good, and I quite like.
Paz looks very good.
He's got that sort of beefed up armor.
Yeah,
that you sometimes
it's
get.
It's like the armor on the Wrecker minifig.
Yeah.
Like the big shoulders.
Yeah, the big beef.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Lego sets. Again, this one's quite cool. You know, if you're recreating scenes. Like you could, if you've got if you've got like a Bo-Katan figure, you could place her like the other side of that door, like looking out, you know, with like no.
Or even a little Grogu when the guards get in.
Yeah, that would be. I think what people might do, they might buy this for the guards to recreate.
I've seen people make custom IG droids with a little thing that you can put Grogu on.
Oh, that's cool.
So that would be cool.
That's cool. So you might have an idea what this means. So today, as of this episode going out and being recorded, it is Thursday at 1:00-ish.
Thursday the 2nd of May.
The tickets for Star Wars Celebration 2025 in Japan are going on sale later today. I can't remember the exact time, because the only times that I saw, they were like Japan and America. But yeah, I'm a little bit gutted because I was really thinking, I'm not gonna lie, I was really thinking of getting a ticket and being like, I'm sorry, but I'm going.
Yeah.
But from speaking to people who have recently gone to Japan and like come back, they have said that like
tickets are very expensive. For
flights are, especially for the time of year that this is going to be, and it has put me off because it's like I would rather save that money to when it's like back in America or UK, and
also it's the flight time as well. Like we are here in the UK, and to fly from here all the way to Japan is going to be like 14 hours.
Yep.
It's
a long time. But to all of you who are going or are trying to go, best of luck with the ticket situation. We'll probably cover that on next week's episode, because we'll be able to talk about prices and you know, if there was problems with the website or stuff. But you know, we hopefully will be there at the one after, you know, when it's like either back in the States when we can go to it, or when it's back in the UK, and we will go full days. Let's meet everyone there. But they have announced a couple of people already who are going to be there. To be honest, I'm not surprised with the first announcements. I think Anthony Daniels was the first announcement for the one in London. You know, so it's like you knew he was going to be there. He is like Mr. Star Wars in a way, and you know, he's always making an appearance and stuff. And Mrs. Star Wars, shall we say?
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ashley Eckstein's going to be there. Again, I'm not surprised with this one. I don't know the prices and what they're going to be, because obviously it's going to be like, you know, it's going to be sort of done in yen converted. So prices and that we can talk about next week. I thought this was a bit of an interesting one, like a bit of a weird one, should we say, for the announcement. Doug Chiang, SVP and Executive Design Director. So, yeah, it's something like, you know, he's not like a big sort of actor, but
Yeah, I mean, he's behind it all.
Yeah, he works on designs and everything. So, and then I said to you, I remember this when we were talking about the episode being in the celebration being in Japan.
Yeah.
This person was going to be there because he lives in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Tim Morrison is going to be there.
I mean, we already met him, so.
We have. Very lucky about that. High five to that. We both have a photo each with Mr. Boba.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I said to you, because it's over that way, he's going to be at that celebration, I'm sure of it. And as you can tell, he's one of the first names they've announced.
I think they have to announce, because it is the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, you're going to have Hayden. You're going to have Ewan McGregor. I really hope Padme's not there. I think Palpatine will be there. If Padme's there... If Padme's there, I might actually buy a ticket. No! I mean, if she's there, then maybe she'll be the one, like the next one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It would be cool to me now.
Yes, it would be.
But yeah, I was surprised not to see Hayden on that list, because it's like... He's the main character.
There's still a long time, isn't there, to go, and
it's not.
They haven't even sent the tickets out. You can't even buy tickets yet. So, and I remember they didn't announce Hayden and Ewan straight away. It took them a little bit of time for last year. So, now these I have two little pics here that are going around online. Just a little bit of a teaser, really. These are clips or pictures of Vader in Tales of the Empire.
Oh, okay.
So this is the Vader that you're going to see in Tales of the Empire. I mean, I know the picture's not great. It looks all right. I mean, he does look a bit like the Rebels Vader, a little bit.
I think that's very cool.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is what we're going to see Vader looking like in Tales of the Empire. So, which comes out in 2 days. So you haven't got
watching that on Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, wake up. I think 6 episodes to watch.
Yay!
Get the brekkie in.
Yeah.
Bit of drinks. Wake up, watch a bit of this, and then we've got 6 episodes to talk about next week. So you can see why we decided to do the Bad Batch finale this week. So we also got more character posters to end the finale of Bad Batch, which I thought was quite nice.
Yeah.
So we have the one of all the batch. So we've got Wrecker, Hunter, Crosshair, even Echo's in it, which is quite nice. Omega and Little Batcher.
Yeah,
Batcher made it. My favourite. So we have the kids on Tantis.
Yeah.
We have Jax, we have Eva, we have Sammy.
Little
bear. I love him.
Look at his little face. Love him. He's so cute.
Oh, he is so cute.
Oh.
It was quite funny. I had when we watched the episode, and then we were chatting about it when we both were working yesterday.
Yeah.
We were talking about Ben, and you were like, he carried the show.
Yes.
He carried season 3. Little baby Baron.
As soon as he turned up, it was like, nah, nothing can happen to him. He's so cute.
He is cute, and I love him. And we will be talking about him today as well. So we got that one. We got quite a serious looking Fee.
Yeah.
We have angry looking Ventress. We have Fennec, Rampart, you.
Yeah.
And we have X Trooper, which I have a very interesting analysis to mention today about this one and the others. So now, before we get into today's episode, just a little warning. I know we have to do it, and if you're watching this episode or listening to it and you haven't seen the finale, what are you doing? You know this is going to be a spoiler episode. Go and go and watch it and then come back, because we're going to be breaking it down heavy and you don't want this spoiled.
Yeah.
So
you've had your warning. Let's get into it.
Let's go. Right. Let you start us off.
Okay. So we have, obviously with last episode, we've seen Wrecker get scratched by this bear.
Now I made a big point last year, didn't I? Oh, last episode, that was quite fatal. Like, well, not like, you know, fatal, but like a really bad wound. You know, and look how deep. You know, that's quite, should we say, thick armor.
I feel like last episode it was very like quick clips, so you didn't really get a good look at it. But this episode, you definitely get a look at it.
You can see it, and we got a photo like later in the episode where you can see it clearly. But it's like,
so we see Wrecker kind of struggling a bit through the jungle, and Hunter's given him like a med pack, hasn't he? So he's slowly healing.
But we also see as well that he must be really sort of hurting.
Yeah.
Because this sort of med pack doesn't last long, because they get a little bit and then he's like,
yeah.
And then
Crosshair's like,
he needs another one. And he's like, we don't have any more.
Yep.
So, you know.
So they've got to Tantis, but they're really struggling at this point. They haven't even got into this facility yet to rescue Omega, and they're already like men down, you know.
Yeah. And we also see as well that like Crosshair has a little look through the like binoculars.
Yeah.
And he spots like an Imperial sort of group with Luger hands and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then his hand shakes really sort of violently, and he's like, like he gets really frustrated at himself, and he, you know, basically tells he tells Wrecker and Hunter, like, look, you guys go to the communication thing, contact Rex, get the cavalry here, you know, I'm gonna do Plan 99. Yeah. I'm going to go in. No one else has to know.
Yeah.
And then we get this really like sad bit. Like I was like, this is hard to watch.
Yeah.
Where Wrecker's like, no, we're not. You're not doing Plan 99. And then Crosshair's like, Tech. There is no Clone Force 99 anymore. It died with Tech.
Yeah.
And it was like.
It's like,
no, because why would you say that Clone Force 99 died with Tech? I know Tech died, but
and we get like confirmation Tech is definitely dead.
And a certain someone owes me a cookie. Just saying, I said he wasn't coming back.
I have that hope.
I know, but. Cookie incoming. But yeah, and then obviously Wrecker and Hunter's like, you're not going in alone. We're not doing that. We do it together. You know, like we all know that this could be like a one-way mission. We all accept that. You know, it's always been that way. So So we get that, and then we sort of jump to the inside where we see
Rampart has obviously been taken hostage.
Well, he's been captive, hasn't he? He's been taken captive.
But there's a scene where we see Scorch. Does he say
we've captured one of the infiltrators or something like that?
Yeah.
So and then we see that obviously Rampart's in one of the cells.
Yeah.
And he's also like opposite Nala Sayes.
He is.
So, and Nala is listening to what's going on.
Yeah. I really liked this scene because it was like, I don't know, it's like you see, I think both of them are very like leader people, like Hemlock's obviously running this facility. He's head of like the cloning procedures and everything. Rampart used to be vice admiral, so he used to boss people about, and both of them have worked for the Empire. So it's like you get this kind of like leader standoff.
I think this is a battle of their egos.
Yeah.
Because Hemlock has got a massive ego anyway. You know, he's like, you don't realise that like I'm indisposable to the the Empire, the Emperor needs me.
Yeah.
Like, and Rampart's like, well, this so-called top secret facility isn't so secret now, and it is about to be basically stormed and breached. How's the Emperor gonna? And again, Hemlock just sort of reiterates the point of like, the Emperor needs me. Like, it's just a battle of egos, and like, my work is more important.
I think it was quite good though, because we've never really seen Hemlock get a taste of his own medicine before, and it's like Rampart's just gone in there, like, and told him like, look, you're not doing this right. The Emperor is going to be annoyed at you.
Yeah.
So
definitely,
I think this was a funny scene to watch.
Yeah, and obviously Nala Se was eavesdropping and learning everything.
Yep.
And in the meantime, as well, we also see that the kids in the vault with Omega hatch a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
So Omega, using one of the little utensils, like tools that she confiscated.
Yeah.
She sort of stabs the back of the droid's head and reprograms it quickly while Dr. Skolder is on the way.
Yep. And then she comes down and she's like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah.
And then one of them, I can't remember who it was, he was Sammy. She's like, "Oh, we were with the droid." And then Dr. Skolder is like,
isolation for you all, basically.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
She's kind of like, "What do you mean you were with the droid?" Like,
you weren't.
And then
it wasn't scheduled for like a test, whatever.
She's like, "You're lying." And then Omega's like, "No, we were in there with the droid." And then meanwhile, you see the droid kind of sneak up behind Dr. Skolder and like inject her.
Yeah. Knocking her out.
And also, like, when Omega is reprogramming the droid, I think it's Sammy says to her, like, "Have you done this before?" And then always like, "Do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna get captured?" And Omega's like, "I have, but not on these type of droids." But obviously Omega knows what she's doing.
She knows.
Dr. Skolder gets the injections and back.
And I will love as well when Dr. Skolder gets injected and falls over.
Yeah.
Little Ben starts laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, so cute.
It's so good.
So,
he's like, "Yay, this mean lady."
So then we see that they've got a bit of a plan.
Yeah.
And they get some sort of fabrics or like spare clothes that they've got. And they sort of tie like a... Sammy actually doesn't carry Ben in this episode. Jax does. So Jax sort of straps little Ben.
He's got a little baby carry on his back.
And it's cute. And then what we noticed as well is Eve.
Yeah, she's got the like straw Lula doll strapped to her back by like her belt. It's so cute.
It's cute. And we see that like Omega easily sort of opens the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And they all climb up through the sort of vents. So we say the little shafts.
Yep.
And they come across the Zillo Beast sort of room.
Yep.
Now, one thing that I did notice in this episode, and I mentioned it to you, what is keeping these like grates in place is almost nothing.
Yeah.
Omega literally is like,
yeah.
opens a grate, out she goes, and she's able to do what we assumed was going to happen.
Yeah.
Releases the Zillo Beast. We also see
Well, she pulls down the thing and then the water level drops, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the like laser grid goes off as well.
Yeah.
And then this sort of albino Imperial. He looks a bit weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, trouble.
Yep.
And then the sort of technicians
so he puts
run
on,
out.
like the laser beam.
Yes, I believe he does. Well, no, I think his a trooper does it.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like by the grip. Anyway.
Yeah.
So he's like panicked, sort of sets the alarm off.
Mm-hmm.
The technicians run out. The troopers sort of start shooting at the beast.
Yeah. But obviously it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. And then the laser, like you said.
Yeah.
Sort of tries to attack it, but then the Zillo Beast just takes it out.
Yeah, he just whacks the laser and then
yeah. And then we get the Zillo Beast going on a bit of a rampage, sort of climbing up through the facility to then get out.
Oh, there was a bit that we missed. In the vent, because obviously Omega gets out to release the water and the lasers. But there's a bit where all the other kids are in the vent and Baron starts crying.
No.
So obviously all the Imperials, they're like, what is that noise? One of them goes over, pulls off the bit of wall, and he sees there's children there, and he's like, Sarah, there's children. And he's like, find out where they come from. But then obviously the Zillo Beast.
Yeah. No, you're right. Good.
And then their attention's kind of diverted. So then.
Yeah. But I don't know, why was Ben crying?
I know. And then as soon as the Zillo Beast is like crawling out, he starts like laughing, and then
I think he goes to sleep.
Like, does he go to sleep?
I think he like relaxes and goes to sleep a bit, and they're like, that's what sends him to sleep.
That's the one. Yeah. Jax is like, what?
But yeah, I thought that was cool. And then, like I just mentioned, the Zillo Beast goes on a bit of a rampage, climbing up the facility.
Very Godzilla.
Yeah. And then we see that like it takes out the sort of outer door to the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of basically destroying one of the hangars as well, doesn't it? But it smashes open the outside door, which gives the Bad Batch a way in. You know, which I thought was, again, it was like they looking at it, and there's this really cool bit. They were like, they're looking at the Zillo Beast come out through this hole, and I think Crosshair goes, do you think that was like, do you think that's Echo's doing or Omega's? And then Hunter and Wrecker, and I think Crosshair, all of them just in unison are like, Omega.
Yeah.
Like, which I thought was quite cool.
We also see Echo and Dr. Carr as well. Yeah. So both of them, obviously, Emery, she says to Echo, like, she name drops Project Necromancer and explains like what they're all doing in that facility.
Well, first, because they were still in the lab when we see them the first time.
Yeah. And then she's like, right, I'm going to take you down to the vault. So they get to the vault, and obviously she's like, Omega's not there.
Yeah, but we see that like Echo is like, why are you helping me? And she's like, because I've realised I was in the wrong. Like, I need to make up for what I did.
Yeah.
And then they go to the vault, and I was like, oh my god, Hunter, like Echo's gonna get caught here.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Scolder's sort of coming around, and then she's escorted out by clones, commandos, I think.
Yeah.
We see Scorch and Hemlock.
Yeah.
And Dr. Carr's like, what happened here? Like, and Hemlock's like, they found a weakness and they've exploited Dr. Scolder.
Yeah.
She will be dealt with, sort of thing. And then Scorch gets word that the Zillo Beast is out.
Yeah.
So Hemlock's like, well, to Dr. Carr, your fate is tied to Omega. Like,
yeah.
Which,
so she's like, okay.
Okay, cool. And then obviously they're like, right, well, we got to go find the kids. Like, we got to get them.
So then we see Hemlock go back to where he's got all these experiments.
Yeah.
So they're all clones that have been like altered, similar to the Bad Batch, really. They have like super strength and all that.
I think as well before that though.
X one.
I think before that though, he goes to his office and Tarkin.
Oh yeah, that was it. So he's got a holocall from Tarkin, and he's like, "What is this about your facility has been compromised?" And
I hear you. The Zilla Beast is out.
Yeah. And he's like, "I have it under control." And he's like, "Well, you can expect my arrival shortly."
It's like, oh, and I said to you when we watched it, I was like, Vader.
You're like,
Vader.
Star Destroyers, Vader.
And then I was like, but then when you see the Zilla Beast goes, Scorch then comes in and says like, what do we do about the Zilla Beast getting out? And Hemlock's like, I'll send some shuttles to get it, or take care of it.
Yeah.
And Scorch is like,
we need more men.
But then that leaves less men for the infiltrators. Yep. And Hemlock's like, I don't care.
Because Hemlock has this lab of all these clone X's.
Yeah, I'll come back to that in a minute. So here we have the...
So we have the initial clone assassin on the right.
Yeah, and then we have these ones. Now, right, I'm telling you this now. I am telling you, this is my opinion, right? This is Hemlock's version of the Bad Batch, right? Yeah. Now, pun intended, I will admit, this is the Bad Batch. Yeah. These are the bad guys.
Yeah.
So I reckon all of them are basically clone versions of Task Force 99. You have the sniper here.
Yeah.
X2, I think his name is. Yeah. Right? So he's the sniper one. He's the one that's got a bit of beef with Crosshair.
Yeah.
Okay. You got the big brute, guy here. That's his version of Wrecker. Yeah. You can see by the size of him.
Yeah.
Look at this guy's mask and the goggles.
Yeah.
This is their version of Tech, which is they've turned into like a lethal fight. Tech, if Tech's skill was like a lethal fighter sort of thing, this is what he would be like with the sort of the swords and that. And then this guy looks a bit like, Hunter in a way, like with the sort of helmet and all that. So, my opinion, I haven't heard anyone else say this, but this is my opinion. These are basically clones
that he's made to be like his
own Bad Batch.
Yeah.
This is Hemlock's Bad Batch, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, and I think this is particularly done on purpose and shown later in the episode as to why, there isn't one for Echo, but Echo was never originally a Bad Batch.
Yeah.
This is the original Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Crosshair, Hunter, Wrecker, and Tech.
Yeah.
So, we see these guys with a couple of TK troopers in the destroyed hangar confront the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit one-sided. These guys absolutely basically annihilate because Wrecker's injured anyway.
Yeah.
Crosshair has his shaky hand, and Hunter isn't in the right mindset, with what's going on and everything. But they're cool. They take out a couple of TK troopers. These guys are the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat the Bad Batch, and the explosion goes off, like knocking Hunter out.
Yeah. Wrecker's on the floor.
The bad Wrecker basically throws this electric sort of thing that knocks him over, and then with the staff is and into
he's already injured here, and he's getting electric to his chest as well now. And then Crosshair's on the floor. He obviously is half knocked out, and he sort of looks over and he sees Wrecker getting electrocuted, and then he's like, I need help. Goes over to grab the gun, and then the clone assassin, the sniper one, steps on his arm, and he's like, you should be more careful with your shooting hand.
Yeah. And then he actually takes the light blade from the sort of assassin, the other TK, not TK, but extra.
The one with the goggles. Yeah.
And
then he chops
his hand. Well, we don't see the hand, but you can clearly see the arm, and there's
yeah. And then it just goes to black.
Yes, and then it's oh my god. But
I don't think we're ever going to recover from Crosshair losing his hand.
But very interestingly, like that we saw in a breakdown video, if you look at the weapons that these Bad Batch use, they are very reminiscent of weapons used to take down Jedi, like the Purge Troopers, like electro blades. He's got like electric gauntlets, you got the device that sort of traps the legs and electrocutes them, like the electro pole, So these guys could have been made to take down Jedi like Inquisitors or that. But I think they were made to be like Hemlock's Bad Batch. But so yeah, very, very, they are quite cool looking as well, like the helmets.
I just thought they were very brutal.
Yeah, and I hope to see some people do some cosplays of these ones, because I think it'd be quite interesting. We then see Echo and Emery in the facility.
Yeah.
And we see the Bad Batch on sort of like trolley
like little
being taken away to Hemlock, and Echo wants to help, but where we see his development as a character, he's like, they'll be all right. We need to save the kids first. We need to make sure they're okay.
The kids are in danger now.
Yeah, so let's go get them. So then we see the kids are in the hangar. Oh, we see them climb up the ladder as well.
Oh yeah, and Jax is like really scared of heights, and then Omega's like, my brother Wrecker, he's scared of heights, but
he's one of the strongest ones. Like people I know.
Yeah.
So we see them climb up this ladder, and then they get into the hangar.
Yeah.
And
little baby Ben.
Little baby Ben. Don't worry, I'm zoomed in on the baby. And then we see that there's like troopers sort of surround them.
Oh, you actually see Eva's little Lula doll in her belt as well.
Very cute.
So cute.
And we see that like the troopers surround them.
Yeah.
And then we realise that one of them is actually Echo, and he takes out the other guards, and he takes his helmet off.
Yeah.
And he calls Omega by a nickname, doesn't he? But I can't remember. It's like a code name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she's like, Echo.
Yeah. And he's like, hey kid.
And he's like,
hey other kids.
Yeah. Echo's brilliant. I love his like little words. So yeah, then we see obviously that, and then there's a shuttle still available in the hangar. So Echo's like, look, you go with everyone, get everyone out.
Yeah.
Like, get the kids out.
Her the coordinates to Pabu.
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't give it to Pabu, but he's like, go here and we'll meet up. I think he says something like, maybe you meet up with Rex, or we'll meet you at this location.
Okay.
But they go there, and they're like, Echo, they're like, Omega, you're not coming? She's like, nah, I got to save my brothers.
Yeah. I'll see you later.
But they all have like a little group hug. And I just wanted to show you this little boy, my baby Baron.
He's so cute.
I love this guy. They really need to make like figures or toy of this little guy, please. And his little bear, his little baby Ben. So we see that. They do. They must. But, so they leave. So then we see that they leave the facility with Emery. It's like, okay.
So now it's just Echo and Omega.
Yeah, I'm the Bad Batch, and Hemlock and his lot. So then we see
there's a scene where they go to the what's it called, like the detention level, where everyone's locked up, and Omega and Echo, they
release
open all
everyone.
The doors. So you've got Rampart, you've got Nala Se, and then you've got loads of clones.
And Echo.
And they take out a bunch of TKs on the way, and they steal all their weapons, and they just give all the weapons to the clones.
But they have this really nice bit where like Echo has a bit of a speech to the clones, and he's like, I'm not asking any of you to fight, but if any of you would fight, we need to save my brothers, and
Yeah.
you know, and like all the clones are like, I've got one more fight in me, and you can see as well that they're all older, and you can see as well that some of these guys have probably been tortured and not kept in great conditions.
No.
But they're still like, I'm willing to fight one last time, sort of
they're
thing.
fighting for their brothers and for their freedom.
Yeah, and then
this is their ticket out of here, and one of them, I think it's the one in the middle there. He's like, we were thinking that no one would ever come for us.
Yeah.
And it's quite sad, really.
Yeah, but
like,
there's
they've
also
been here for ages, and they've just been waiting on that one person to come and save them.
Yeah,
and
but no,
the day has finally come.
It's nice as well because it's like first episode of the Bad Batch.
Yeah,
we see that they're very indifferent to the regs.
Yeah.
Like in the dining sort of hall on Camino, Bad Batch, Clone Force 99 sits separately, and they're like, "Oh look, it's the Bad Batch." Like, they're defective. Like the clone, they don't like him, but now they're like, these guys are like, we're working with them to save the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
At the end of the day, they've been tortured by the Empire, so they're gonna trust their brothers now. It's like the only good thing in their life, like they have left, really. They know their brother's gonna treat them better than any Imperial would. So yeah, it's like a fight for brotherhood.
Yeah. And then we see that Nala Se tell Omega that she needs to destroy the data on all the cloning, and she wants to go do that. It's her time to do that, and her and Omega sort of say a little goodbye, which is cute.
And Omega's like, right, you're gonna need this, and gives her the data pad back.
Yeah.
So and she goes to the lab and.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
you kind of see like Rampart following her as well.
Yes, and he's like watching her, like, where is she going?
Yeah.
And then we see the Bad Batch sort of getting tortured.
Yeah.
But it's not just torture.
No.
This is like the sort of mind programming almost, but they're still resilient to it.
Yeah.
And again, here's like one of the Bad Batches, I'm calling them.
Clone X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hemlock's like, you're going to make a great trooper or something. Yeah. And Hunter's still fighting.
Hunter's like, this is not what I want to be. Like, I don't want to be working for you. I just want to get Omega out. And
we also get this really like hard scene as well where we see him looking at Crosshair opposite him, who's like knocked out, and one of the droids is basically like,
fixing his arm.
Well, not fixing it, but like, like when you lose something or that, you sort of like burn it, don't you? To like, they're basically doing that and sealing up his arm where he's lost it. Yeah. Which is a bit sad.
Yeah. It's like, why did we come here?
Yeah. And then we see Nala Se in the lab
with Rampart,
yeah,
because she put the data pad in. She's looking at all the information, and then she hears him like behind her with the blast.
And then
she sort of turns around, and then he's there like, "What is this?
Yeah, like
tell me everything you know about Project Necromancer." Like he's rooting for this gossip. Like he wants to know what the Emperor.
Well, he's doing it for his own skin because Hemlock made it very clear that this Project Necromancer and stuff makes him invaluably, like he cannot be, so we say killed by, because the Emperor needs him. So Rampart's like, well, if I have all this information, then the Emperor, But Nala Se is like, no, this isn't, this isn't your stuff. This will always be like Kaminoan technology.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's mine or something. And then he shoots her. But we get this before he shoots her, she activates the thermal detonator that she was going to use to destroy the thing.
Yeah.
And when he shoots her, she like falls to the floor, and the detonator rolls literally to his feet, and he's like,
yeah. And then, it just sounds like 1 second, and then it all blows up.
And then it goes up, and it's like, oh my god. So yeah, that's the end of Rampart, Nala Se, and all the like information and data on
all the clones' blood, all Omega's blood.
Yeah, Project Necromancer. So that's why, in a way, it's delayed until Rise of Skywalker that it's revealed that Palpatine returned.
Yeah.
So he had to basically move everything and everyone to Exegol and start over, and that's really interestingly how this one sort of little bit in the show derailed his cloning plan for centuries.
Yeah.
No, not centuries, decades.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah. So we then see the Omega with sort of Echo, and they've sort of found the
place where Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair are.
So she's like, I need a bit of a distraction.
Yeah. So like, I think I can unhook them from the machines, but I need a big distraction. And then Echo's like, right, I'm on it.
So him and the clones basically infiltrate the base, or the little lab, should we call it?
Yeah.
From below with the clones, which the sort of clone, the bad batches, as I'm calling them, sort of react and come down to sort of take them out.
Yep.
While Omega sort of goes in and like starts the undoing process.
Yeah.
And I think she starts it on Wrecker.
Yeah.
So I think she frees one of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the sort of clone guards sort of notices and sort of Omega blasts him like twice with the stun, and he's just like, like not phased by him. Was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then Hemlock was like, what were you thinking, sort of thing.
Yep.
Do you really think you could sort of get them out? And then
Yep.
he shows the like facility underneath, like the walls are changing up and down, like almost like the training facility on Kamino.
Yeah.
And then he drops in like the gas as well.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the like operatives are taking out all these clones. It's like, oh my god. And then
he gets the sort of call that the lab has been destroyed.
Yeah.
So he's like, great.
He's like, we gotta go now.
Yeah.
So he basically takes Omega.
So he handcuffs himself to her, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And then he takes her out.
Oh no, but he also says, she's like, yeah, but who's gonna stop them or something?
Yeah.
Because Wrecker's coming around and he's like, breaks out, and then he like uses almost the plate keeping him in as like a shield, and he fires it like at the others, and then we get a big sort of fight with the clones. And but one thing that I will love as well is we see how how capable Echo is. Echo in that down bit with the other clone like assassins, even though like Wrecker's just sort of pushed one of them back down there, and there's like 2 or 3 of them down there. Echo takes out like all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Like basically, or 2 of them. Like Echo takes them out, and again, he's just a normal, say, Rey.
Yeah.
But where he's been training with the Bad Batch, he knows these guys, and you know, even though they're elite soldiers, like they were made for this. He absolutely battles them, and he was a king this episode. He was quality.
Yeah.
And then we see sort of Hunter grab one of the sort of electric spears.
Yeah.
And he impales this X2, and he's like,
the like sniper assassin.
Yeah, the one who chopped off Crosshair. He's like,
you totally deserve that.
And that's all the, shall we say, the clone Bad Batch, like Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Gone.
So we see Hemlock, with Omega like tied to his wrist, go out on like the outside. Kind of
onto like an up platform, like up top.
It looks very similar to like Camino because it's like raining, there's sea around it, and like
it's not sea, it's like just because it's right up in the air, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like the top of the facility.
Yeah,
but it's just a platform, but you can't see below it because it's dark and
it's just raining.
And we see that he's with Scorch.
Yeah.
And using his little that he took off X2,
he
signals the like ship. And we see that,
so he's sort of like smiling at the ship, and then you see a blaster fire go right into one of the engines, and it blows up, and then he's just kind of like, oh.
And then they turn around, and
you've got Hunter
and
Crosshair. Oh.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I was really sad about this.
That's Scorch.
Yeah. Because I think he deserves so much more. Like, I wish they tried to like change him or something.
Yeah.
But instead, Scorch from Delta Squad and dies by taking like 3 blasters. I think to like, as you can see, to like the top of his chest, and it's like, no, like.
We did like Scorch, but
again, I know he was a bad guy in this. In the Bad Batch series, but it was like, if you played the game, you liked him, and you're like, why has one of our like characters that we really liked as growing up and that, why is he ended like this?
I mean, he could have gone with Echo and
exactly
with Rex and
Gregor.
That
would have been it, and then we see him reunite with the other. That was good.
Yeah. But so for you guys listening, there was Scorch kind of behind Hemlock, and
in front of him.
In front of Hemlock. So
wait, no, walking. He was behind them.
Yeah.
So he died first.
Yeah. But then obviously we see Crosshair and Hunter. They shoot Hemlock's ship, and then obviously Scorch turns around, starts like shooting at them. They shoot Scorch. He's gone off the side of the balcony. And then we have Hemlock and Omega, and he's like, right, I'm going to put a blaster to her.
And he's like, step back.
Like, yeah, like, I will shoot her kind of thing. If you...
And then he's like, you won't, to Omega, he's like...
Yeah, she's like, you need me.
Yeah.
You're not going to shoot me. And he's like, they don't know that. So obviously Crosshair, he's lost his sniper hand, so he's using his other hand, and then Hunter's kind of helping him.
I love this bit because it's like he's resting, he's using where he would use like his other hand as like a stable, basically.
Yeah.
He's using Hunter's like shoulder and body.
Yeah.
Like you sometimes see in films and that with snipers and that.
Yeah.
And Hunter's like, sort of get ready. Yeah. And Crosshair's like, I can't.
He's like, they're too close. I can't fire now.
I'm going to hit Omega. And he's like,
wait for Omega.
Wait for her signal. You've got this. Yeah. Take the shot, sort of thing.
Yeah. So Omega takes the little thing, the little sharp object that she stole to escape out of the vault. She still has that with her, so she takes it and she like stabs Hemlock in the side, I think.
And he's like, and then she lifts her arm up, and Crosshair hits the joint perfectly.
Yeah.
And then
So Hemlock and Omega are like separated now from the handcuffs.
Yeah, and Crosshair and Hunter both
and
just
go
unleash
ham on Hemlock until he
good
falls
riddance.
off the edge of the
platform
bridge. Yeah.
But yeah.
So he's fell down there, Scourge is down there, and then
They're
Omega's
dead.
alright.
Yeah. But it was like, that's the end of Hemlock. He went out and...
Yeah. And I'm glad.
Yeah.
And, you know, for all the things he did to Crosshair, I think it probably felt good for Crosshair to get his revenge, you know, like this is for all the tests you've put me through and how you chopped off my hand and all that, like for him to finally go back to Tantis where he's been fearing of going the whole time and actually taking out Hemlock and being like, do you know what? This is all done now.
Yeah. And
it's like a relief, like a weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
Something he's been
we get a really nice scene of like Omega and she runs over and she like hugs both of them.
Yeah,
it was quite funny because
like,
because she hugs Crosshair first.
She does.
And I was like, if I was Hunter, I'd be like, whoa, where's my hug?
Yeah.
But then she like gives them both like a big hug, and it's just like sort of almost like both her dads, almost like you know, saving her. And then we get this really nice shot of them walking sort of out. Yeah. You know, you can see Hunter's like hobbling, like you know, so they're all battered.
Yeah.
And then they
sort of holding her back with his little stump.
He's like, go on. And they sort of make it to the hangar, and them and the surviving clones with like Echo and Wrecker. Yeah. They escape. We get this really cool shot of like just as they've sort of entered hyperspace and left Tantis, we get this really cool scene. So literally, they've gone 2-3 seconds later, the Star Destroyer, for the first time in like the Clone Wars
animation,
and is flanked by 2 Venators.
Yeah.
Again, this is definitely showing us that we can definitely see that, like, from this, you know, the Venators are slowly being phased out.
Yeah.
But we can see that one of the first people with a Star Destroyer is Tarkin, which makes sense. So I think this is the Executrix, I think.
Yeah.
So like his Star Destroyer, I think. So, you know, we see that, and then we see obviously it's flanked by the 2 Venators.
Yeah.
It's almost a bit symbolic, isn't it? It's like the Empire is now leading the way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like the Republic is falling behind. And then you found this really good shot of the, you know, the Tantis base from above and the Venator, the Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's like slowly covering it from above, and like the 2 Venators are sort of flanking it still.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wanted to show this picture because I think this is really interesting. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a brilliant way of showing you, like, the size, right? We all know how big these Star Destroyers are, but look at it like compared to Tantis. That shows you how big Tantis is, because you've got a Star Destroyer there. You probably could have another one there, probably like another 3 here.
Yeah.
If you were to fill up that. You know, obviously you got the Venators like hanging about in the background, but like, just gives you a perspective on how big
this facility was. Yeah.
And Star Destroyer does look quite menacing and cool there.
Yeah.
And we see the like Republic shuttles and all that flying up and about. And then we
see Tarkin with 2 TK troopers. I think these are like an early version of like the shock trooper.
Well, we see them in season 2 because they're at that mountain where.
Oh, okay.
Because the mountain gets bombed in season 2.
Yeah.
And then we see sort of these guys like sort of come and like stay here, like.
Yeah. I think they're kind of like the new Coruscant Guard.
Yeah.
Like before they went into like the Stormtrooper.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, Tarkin's fed up of clones, so he would have conscripts, but
yeah. So he's there, and he's like, he said, this facility is wiped out.
Well, the captain also says that like Hemlock and a couple of Imperials have perished in the attack and all that. The Zillo Beast is out there somewhere. We don't really know where.
Yeah. So he's just like, right, well, this place is compromised. We will
shut it down
to like all funding towards Project Stardust.
Yes.
Which, if you guys haven't seen Rogue One, it is the project of creating the Death Star.
So yes, so all the funding that was being taken from other departments for Project Necromancer and Hemlock's experiments is now being rerouted to Project Stardust, and that's what's the main priority, should we say, for the Empire, which is pretty cool. And we also get the melody as well.
Yeah,
we get the sort of Imperial March, like slowed down, and it's the same one that you hear when Vader like dies in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, the song.
But it's very like high and quiet, and
Yeah. And then we see everyone back on Pabu. So we
see Echo's ship. We see the two like shuttles of Emery and the kids, and we see the
And we see Emery without her glasses.
It's a bit weird seeing her without her glasses.
Yeah.
She's not an Imperial thing anymore, so
yeah.
Yeah, and we see that Echo say that the majority of clones are now on Pantora, like living out their retirement and that. So shout out to Senator Chuchi.
Yeah,
she's a good one, looking after all the clones in retirement.
Yeah,
and he's heading there to sort of help.
Yeah,
and he's like, what you've learned and that would be very helpful to Senator. So she goes with him.
Yeah.
And Emery was asking as well, I think, about the kids.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we're going to look after them until we can find their parents. We get this little cute scene of the like clone cadets with the kids.
Yeah.
And he's a little Ben, he's getting some food. And Jack's little Sammy's like, go on and have some.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
There's a scene where, so this is from the scene where you got Batcher there getting some fuss from Omega, and then Omega and Hunter just chatting, and she's like, are we gonna find where they're all from, and like their original home? Hunter's like, me and Rex will all try and try our best to find out where they're from. So hopefully like they'll be able to go back home, sort of thing. But for now, they're safe on Pabu.
Yeah, but I'm just knowing that they've got home safe. Little baby Ben.
Yeah.
He's gone back to his mum.
And there's like those little monkey animals like crawling on the floor, and they're all like chasing after them, and they're a lot happier.
They're free.
They're finally free from.
But you can also see as well that it's still not long after, because they're still in their sort of uniforms.
Yeah.
Emery's still in her Imperial,
Yeah.
And even Echo's still in his
in the TK.
So he likes that armor.
Yep.
And then
I think this is all like the same day.
Yeah, and we get this sort of nice scene of like.
Yeah.
All the Bad Batch basically chilling, because they watch Echo sort of give him like a wave and that, and then he flies off, and we see sort of Wrecker and Crosshair come join Omega and Hunter and Batcher.
Yeah,
and we know Batcher's all right. She's chilling. She's all good.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I think Hunter says something like, "The war is all over now."
She's like, "What do we do now?" And Hunter's like, "Well, we make arrangements. We do what we want." Same with all the other clones, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought this was going to be like the last little bit, and then it wasn't. We get almost like a little epilogue.
Yep.
We see Pabu at night. I was like, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see someone heading towards a cave where there's a little ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same cave where Ventress is like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then one of the lights, sort of energy lights, turn on, and we see that it's an older Omega. She's now like probably in her 20s now.
Yeah.
And we see that Hunter was like, you really think you're gonna leave without, me knowing?
Yeah.
And we can see as well that he's obviously a lot older himself. Because at the end of the day, Omega ages normally. So here she looks about probably 20.
Yeah.
Like early 20s. Yeah. So I would say that, this is probably 10 years has gone past.
Yeah.
And we see that obviously but Hunter has got a bit of grey hair.
Yeah.
His bandana's now like green and yellow.
It's like changed.
Like he's got a new one almost. And his beard as well. And we got Batches a little bit bigger and a little bit slower. Which is cute. And then we have this.
She's like the family doll.
Yeah. And then we get this like little moment where they sort of sit down looking out over the, at the moon and the sea.
Yeah.
And Omega's like, the rebellion needs pilots.
Yeah.
This isn't your fight anymore. This is my fight.
Yeah.
And Hunter is like, I don't want you to go. You're safe here, sort of thing. Even after all these years, he's still like protecting her, and it's cute, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get a really good look, and I think the animation design for like an older Omega, they've done like really well. Like you could really be like,
yeah,
she has.
You can tell it's Omega.
But yeah, as you know, she's got a little red headband now.
Yeah.
So maybe she's got Hunter's.
Yeah.
And then we can see obviously Hunter's looking old. He's got a beard and mustache and hair.
Oh.
But she's like, this is my fight. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And she sort of gives him a big hug, and then she's like, look after Crosshair and Wrecker for me. And it's like,
we don't actually get to see.
We don't get to see older.
Yeah.
I'd like to see an older Wrecker and Hunter.
Yeah.
Wrecker and Crosshair, like, see what they look like.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that they're still around, and And then we see the last sort of shot is Omega getting on the ship. She sort of touches Tech's goggles.
Yeah.
Which is cute.
Because it's like Tech taught her to fly as well. So it's like she's bringing him with him. Yeah.
And then she flies off.
Yeah.
Out of the cave, and we sort of see Pabu, and then we see her ship going through the moonlight, and that's it. Yeah. That is the end of the Bad Batch. It's sad, isn't it?
It is very sad.
A couple of things, they have left it quite open. Now, there is also a lot that they didn't close on.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit disappointed by it. Okay, so hear me out, guys, right? I'm not criticizing it heavily because I love the show. I love the finale. I think it was a really good way for the show to end. But there's just little bits that I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah.
So starting off, probably the way that this has ended, they're going to do another spin-off show or a live action show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like Omega. She's heading off to join the rebellion. Are we going to get like an older Omega? Are we going to get like almost like a rebellion show of like Omega with a cast of like rebels?
Yeah.
So we've got that possibly. Is she going to turn up in live action in the future? Is it, like you said, Ahsoka maybe season 2?
Yeah.
Because she knows Hera. There's so many things.
Yeah.
But for me, things that they still haven't really cleared up, and I feel quite annoyed a little bit about. What happened with Cody?
Yeah, after he went AWOL.
So he went AWOL in season 2, and then we never hear anything else of his name or where he is, like that, I think is something they really should have. So we say finished, because that would have made the fans happy, like myself, like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to know if he, did he end up meeting with Rex and joining his little group?
Yeah.
Did he die? Did he? We want to know.
We want to know what happened to Cody.
I would have liked to have possibly seen. Well, I would have liked to have seen Rex in this episode. Especially at that little end bit.
Yeah.
With like Echo and that.
All the clones, because I feel like we never really got to see how many clones he brought back with them, because obviously a lot of them got taken out by the.
Yeah, but we do see quite a few of them on Pabu.
Yeah.
But it's still like, okay, but where's Rex? How did Rex meet up with Wolf?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Because we were thinking when Scorch was like, we need more men before Hemlock got his assassins out. We were thinking, what if Scorch calls on Wolf's team of troopers to come to the facility, and that way, when he comes there, he'll be like, "Oh, this is Echo and everyone." And then we were thinking, like, maybe that will be a way where, obviously, in Rebels, when you got Rex and Wolf and Gregor, maybe that'll be how he gets them, because there was the episode with Rex and we saw Wolf, and it's kind of like that was the only thing we saw of Wolf.
Yeah, it was almost a bit like where you just did that moment to be like, oh,
yeah,
Rex being like, oh, Wolf, you're still alive, and Wolf being like, oh, Rex, you're still alive.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have seen another episode with Wolf, sort of, joining up with Echo, and that'll be how he gets back with Rex.
And it's like, what happens to Echo? Like, are we going to see him again? Are we going to see Emery again? Like, there's so much stuff that is still up for grad. I feel like you can't just leave the Star Wars animation.
No.
Like, to say that is the last Star Wars animation, almost like Bad Batch, Clone Wars saga.
Yeah.
Like,
other than Tales of the Empire.
Yeah. Like, we need to see some of these characters. Like, I know you're not going to get an answer for everything, but some of these are very easily explained,
Yeah.
Cody, for example. Is he dead? Or did he, it's like, okay, this is what happened to him.
I think the issue is with the Bad Batch, obviously they had to tie up a lot of things because they brought a lot of characters into it. However, they can't keep making episodes that are about, Rex, Cody, Wolf, and all that without involving the Bad Batch in some way, because it is the Bad Batch show.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's going to be a case of they're going to bring out another clone show, just like in general, or like the Rex show or whatever, or if they're going to do like Tales of the Clones or something, or so like do a series where you can fill in little gaps here and there, and not necessarily have like a full-on story.
True.
Just kind of
could do that.
Little shorts to tie up loose ends.
But yeah, no, I want to see something, because this season was really good. I loved it all about. I loved the finale. I loved how we all actually get like a happy ending in Star Wars. Like, how the hell none of them died is a miracle, in my opinion. I was sure someone was going to die.
Yeah.
You look at our bingo cards as well, how bad, like how wrong we were with the stuff that we were like, this is bang on to happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think we only crossed off probably like 3
between
or 4
us.
things,
I think it was 3. I think. So, yeah. But I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not the end of like this, but I think they're definitely leading to doing something with Omega now.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if it's just like Omega leading off her own like rebellion crew, like.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think it would be hard to bring her into live action purely because all the clones are usually played by Tem, and Tem cannot play Omega because he would be way too old to play Omega, and also, he's not.
Can you imagine if they got Michelle to do it, who voiced that? That would be cool. But yeah, so that was really it for the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
We hope you guys have enjoyed all the amount of Bad Batch breakdown episodes we've been doing over the, over the year, 2 years or whatever it's been like.
Yep.
It's been a long time, but I'm glad we finally got it. But I'm also sad as well.
Yeah.
We also have Tales of the Empire to look forward to next week, like on this episode. So
yeah,
6
you
episodes.
guys can watch it from Saturday on Disney Plus, but yeah, that'll be our
topic next
breakdown.
Yeah,
breaking down all 6 episodes because it's not going to be an episode a week.
Because it's like 20. It's almost like less than 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, they're like little shorts, basically.
Yeah. So Troopers of the Week. Shall I go first?
I don't mind.
So we got Noah Mora, famous sort of. He does like Vader cosplay as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's got one here where he's dressed up as Jango Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, part of the sequels got brought up in the group chat. And it's a clip of Boba in a... And he's like... Hang on, I will minimize that. And he's like, let's all put down our weapons. Let's have a chat. No need for bloodshed. And I just was like, that's how group chats normally work when sequels are brought up and stuff. So, yeah. So Noah Moya, spot on with that one, mate.
Yeah. Mine is Batu Mando Art on Instagram. She does some really cool art, but she's recently done this one. Can't show you. It's basically a drawing of all the clone troopers, and then it's got Rex at the front, but he's got his helmet off, and it's D. Bradley Baker.
But the helmet, if you look, there is a 3/32, I think.
Oh yeah, it's like the scene at the end of the Clone Wars where Rex is like holding the helmet of the 3/32. But yeah, it's got like all the clones behind him, all the Bad Batch. So yeah, I thought that was a very cool picture, and sort of like a shout out to D. Bradley Baker for voicing all of the Bad Batch and all the clones.
Yes, and bringing our childhoods to life.
Yeah.
So yeah. Finish off with Meme of the Week. I've decided to do this one because tomorrow The Phantom Menace comes out in cinemas.
We are going to see it tomorrow.
Yes, we got our tickets, so that'll be quite fun. I'm looking forward to seeing it on the big screen again, because I think I was 4 last time.
How many times we've seen The Phantom Menace, but we're going to see it at the cinema because it's like completely different experience.
Oh yeah,
on the big screen. Yeah.
So this meme is it says only Star Wars fans will see it, and it's a guy on like a little forklift at like a aircraft hangar, and then 2 sort of jet engines, and the guy's like got a bit of tape, and he's like tied the tape to his little cart, and then a little red bit of tape going across, and it's like obviously it looks like a pod race.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was quite cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're gonna end it there, guys. Again, little thank you for joining us for our Bad Batch breakdowns each week.
Yep.
Hopefully there will be more Bad Batch content from us at some point, but yeah, we don't know when or if.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see you guys next week
for the Tales of the Empire.
Yes, all 6 episodes breakdown. So it's going to be fun.
Exciting.
So we will see you then. May the Force be with you guys.